latest your girl, Adeola, you know, do well. Have you heard the news that the president of the Gambia, His Excellency Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Abdulaziz Awal, Jammeh Jejong Nasiruddin, Yaya AJJ Jammeh Babili Mansa lost the election in the Gambia? Fada! But you know that was not the biggest news. The biggest news is that Jammeh considered defeat. I was shocked. Say, what? I didn't see that coming. Was anybody else shocked? This is a man that said that he would rule Gambia for 1 billion years.
Let me tell you one thing. My fate is in the hands of the Almighty Allah. I will deliver to the Gambian people, and if I have to rule this country for 1 billion years, I will.
A man that has been in power for 22 years, and he graciously considered defeat like that without any wahala. I was shocked. But you know, I am so happy. I'm so happy. Jammeh, my brother, you know, do well. You have done well to concede defeat like that. Hey, he must have been watching my show. It was a surprise because the day before the election, this man shut down the internet in the Gambia. So no one had access to social media, to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And then he ordered the telecommunication department to shut down all international phone calls. So nobody in Gambia could call their family members outside the Gambia to tell them about the election, and nobody outside the Gambia could call to check on their people during the election. And on top of that, Jammeh closed the Gambian borders throughout the election. So people were like, this man is trying to rig the election. And not only that, he announced before the elections that nobody would be allowed to protest after the election. So we were also sure that he would rig and not concede to defeat. But the same man accepted defeat. It is a new day in Africa. You know, what do you think happened? I mean, something must have happened. You know what? I can only thank the Almighty Allah. No, remember, he told us that it is only Allah that could remove him from office. Allah must have removed Yaya Jammeh. We need to thank the Almighty Allah. My people, please join me to say Alhamdulillah. Gambians have been celebrating all over the world.
We're so happy today. Today is the day we stand on our feet and we give free speech. We can say anything we want to say without any soldier or any police harassing us or anything.
Elect. His name is Adama Barrow. He's 51 years old. He was born and raised in Gambia, and he studied in Gambia, and then he later moved to London in the early 2000s in order to further his education in real estate. And while he was doing that, he was also working as a security guard in order to finance his education. So when he went back to Gambia in 2006, he started his own real estate company, and then he joined politics and was chosen by a coalition of 7 opposition parties to contest against Yaya Jammeh in this election. You know, when I read his story, especially that he was working as a security guard when he was going to school in London, I wonder how many people passed him by, seeing him as just a common security guard at that time. Who would have thought that that security guard would someday become a president? My people, never ever look down on anybody. In fact, if you live in America or London, next time you see a security guard from Africa, be their friend. You never know, they may become the next president of their country, which is why I never look down on Koledo. It's very troublesome. He gets in trouble. But you know, he will become somebody someday. You know, do well. So to the new president-elect, I hope you know that we'll be watching you, we'll be following you, we'll be monitoring every policy, everything that you will be doing. Do not disappoint the people of Gambia, because when Yaya Jammeh took over in a coup 22 years ago, people were very hopeful as well because they were tired of the previous administration. So they thought that Jammeh would do well. He ended up becoming a dictator. So we're hoping that history will not repeat itself in the Gambia. Gambians have been through a lot, so the hope is really high. People are looking forward to real change. Do not mess up like Yaya Jammeh, because we're watching you. Me and Koledo will be watching you live and direct. Congratulations, but you need to get to work as soon as the ceremony is over. So while we're celebrating the triumph of democracy in the Gambia, I like to take a moment to remember all those that have lost their lives in the fight for freedom in the Gambia. The list is endless. There are so many people that were killed during the last 22 years of Yaya Jammeh, like the Mile 2 prisoners that were killed in August of 2012. Also the 14 students that were massacred because they were protesting in in April of the year 2000. 14 of them were killed and one journalist was also killed that day. We like to remember Usman Sese, Deida Haidara, as well as all the journalists that were killed during the Jammeh administration. And let's not forget the journalists that also disappeared. Like my brother Chief Ebrima Mane, he disappeared since 2006 because of the stories that he did about Jammeh. And let's not forget those that tried to overthrow Yahya Jammeh in 2006 and he killed all of them, as well as those that were killed when they attempted to overthrow him in December of 2014. That includes the Gambian soldiers that went from the US and the UK. I'm talking about Lieutenant Colonel Nami Sane as well as Captain Njaga Jane. So all the people that paid the ultimate price for democracy in the Gambia, I wonder how their family members must feel on a day like this. May their souls rest in perfect peace. And also, let's not forget everybody that has been tortured at the National Intelligence Agency headquarters in Banjul and all the political prisoners. I wonder how they must feel on a day like this. And of course, kudos to all the journalists that are living in exile, people like Fatou Camara, Nanama Keita, and so many others that I do not even know about. You guys fought a good fight and you won, including all Gambians abroad. You guys fought a good fight and you won. And I have to give a shout out to Jeffrey Smith. I'm sure that many Gambians follow him on Twitter. He's a true advocate for democracy in the Gambia. So I am so happy and I'm so excited for all Gambians that it's now a new day in the Gambia. By the way, let me know what you guys think about how Gambians voted. They used marbles to vote. Each voter got a marble which you drop in a drum that has the picture of whoever you wanted to vote for. Apparently a bell rings when you drop your own marble, so the Electoral Commission said that that bell is what ensures that no one would drop more than one marble. So they said that this method of voting eliminated fraud and prevented rigging. And then they counted the number of marbles in each drum. I actually really like this method because it was very easy for everybody, especially if somebody is uneducated and they cannot read. All you have to do is drop the marble in the drum of whoever you wanted to vote for. But I think they can take it a step further so that the marbles will be counting as they are dropping it, so that they won't have to be counting one by one. So let me know what you think about that method of election. So once again, congratulations big time to Gambia. Koledo, in Adeola, prepare my luggage. We are going to Gambia. We are going to Gambia. You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So for our rapid news of the week, the president of Angola, Jose, has announced that he would be stepping down in 2017, next year. I was like, Fata! I'm telling you, it's a new day in Africa. All these dictators are saying that they want to step down. I mean, not long ago, Mugabe of Zimbabwe said that he would be stepping down. Now the president of Angola has announced that he will be stepping down in 2017. We're very, very excited. That is next year. This man has been president for 37 years. Oh Lord, have 37 years. In fact, he's the longest serving African president. Him and Theodore Obiang of Equatorial Guinea. Both of them came in since 1979. I honestly cannot wait to see the change. Hopefully he's not just saying it. Hopefully he would leave, and we're hoping that he will live with his daughter and his son as well. Because if he leaves and they take over, then he didn't really leave. Sure, you understand? We are tired of the same family. And speaking of elections, Ghanaian election is coming up very, very soon, December 7th. And the two main candidates, like I said before, is President John Mahama as well as Nana Akufo-Addo. I really cannot wait to see what the result of the election would be. By the way, why? Charlie, why? Why are some Ghanaians doing me like that? Can you believe that some Ghanaians went and re-edited the episode that I did about the coming election? They carved out where I talked about the not so good part of Mahama's administration and they put it with the beginning of my story and the end of the story, making it look like the only thing I talked about on that episode was the not so good part of John Mahama's administration. And I heard that this thing has gone viral in Ghana, that they are passing it on WhatsApp. So people are calling me from all over Ghana that, Adeola, you are campaigning for Nana Akufo-Addo. I said, no, I am not campaigning for anybody. I don't know Nana Akufo-Addo. I don't know John Mahama. I'm not campaigning for either of them. I talked about the two of them. So that is not correct. Whoever did this, that is not correct. Why do people like doing this? This is not the first time. I've talked about Biafra several times on this show, and there was a time that some Biafrans carved out where I was blaming the Nigerian government about what happened during the Biafra war. They completely deleted where I talked about what Biafrans did wrong. So they uploaded that one on Facebook and said that I was advocating for Biafra, that I was advocating for Nigeria to divide. And I'm like, and people started calling me from different parts of the world. Like, I don't know why people do that. They need to stop changing my narratives on this show because it is misleading people. There are people that would never get to see the full episode, but they only see that one that you re-edited, and now they think that is all I talked about. It's a misrepresentation of my character, of my image, of who I am, and it is an insults to call it a war after working so hard to get you guys those shows. Why do people like to do that? Please, you need to stop misrepresenting me because that is not correct. You guys don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. And while we're talking about elections, okay, so I actually didn't want to talk about this story. Honestly, I swear, I didn't want to talk about it. But the man of God himself did not stop talking. So now we have to talk about it. A few weeks ago, when we had the US election, I asked if anybody knows what happened to TB Joshua's prophecy about the US election. Well, we've all forgotten about the story. And we moved on until the man of God came out to explain himself to us.
The prophecy I gave here last Sunday, thousands of people, they went for fasting and prayer, crying to God that God, please hear our cry. We want this to change.
Okay, so he was trying to say that he did not make a mistake as a prophet, okay? That his prophecy was genuine. It's just that now people can change his prophecy.
They call, say, thank you, man of God. Thank you. You are wake up. We heard your prophecy, and immediately we call ourselves. Thousands of us, we went to wilderness, we fast and prayed, naked pray.
I'm not sure if you guys heard that, but he's telling us that after his prophecy came out, Americans called him to thank him for his prophecy, and then they gathered in thousands and they all naked themselves to pray.
This is your prophecy. Give us clue and guideline. Change this law. Help us, Lord. Fasting and prayer. Naked pray.
So, I don't know what is wrong with calling the world. I guess he's trying to imagine thousands of naked Americans praying. But why did they have to naked? Is what I don't know. Anyway, I am so happy that the man of God explained himself. That way we don't have to guess about what happened to the prophecy. But this is the only thing that I don't like.
This is out of one in the cartons. Not only the email, the picture is there.
Why? Why is it that on a day like this, you did not show us the carton? Because if the prophecy came to pass, you won't hold back in the things that you will show us.
It's not a fake email.
Of course, it's not a fake email, in case anybody is doubting. Me, I already know, by the way, that it's not a fake email. You don't need to convince me. But you know that there are some enemies of progress. People that don't believe. People of little faith. Yes, they are the ones that we need to convince.
Okay. Don't open the picture. Just read the email.
Don't open the picture, okay?
I will show you the picture at a distance. See the picture. This is the picture?
You see, that's another thing that I don't really like, sir, when you decided to show us the picture from a distance. Because, normally when we are talking about the miracles, we always zoom in. So some of us were surprised that we did not zoom in this time around. That's just the only thing. But I am very glad that the man of God explained himself. Hopefully, we can now finally move on regarding this US election saga. If anybody wants to see the full thing, it's on my YouTube page and my Facebook page. Having said all this, by the way, this has nothing to do with the man of God. And don't write me that I'm talking about the man of God. But if you're ever in a position of authority, nobody is above mistake, okay? People always appreciate when you come out and you say, I've made a mistake, I'm sorry, and you move on. You don't have to try to convince everybody that you are right, because you don't have to be right all the time. I make mistakes on this show and I come back and I say, your girl has made a mistake, you understand? And we move on. You guys don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real.
Growing up in Kenya, my sister and I were very close. But like any sisters, we fought a lot. She always got new clothes and I always got hand-me-downs. Now she's putting her children through school in Kenya. We still fight sometimes, especially when I send money for the kids. I tell her, buy some clothes for the younger one, and we both laugh.
With nearly 500,000 locations, our app and online, this is moving money for better.
Alright, y'all, it's been real, and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next week, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out!
Welcome to First View Luxury Hotel. At First View Luxury Hotel, we offer excellent service. Our rooms have all the necessary facilities to make your stay comfortable and memorable. You will also have access to internet service, breakfast, 24-hour power supply, full air condition, free international calls, free tire pumping service, and free car battery charge. So what are you waiting for? Quickly visit First View Luxury Hotel. We are located at number 1 Adeola off Raji Rasaki Road, First Estate, Amuwo, Odofin Festac, Lagos. For more information or reservation, please call us on 080-7578-7135 or 080-9990-0601. You can also take advantage of our online ongoing promo at www.firstviewhotel.com to make your reservation and payment for your favorite room, which attracts a discount rate. Please note, rooms are reserved based on first come, first serve. First View Luxury Hotel. Experience the home of comfort. They come.